All right, ready?
I've been ready, boy.
Yeah, okay. Chef Bug here, and this morning we're going to cook up a breakfast hash. I'm using young green jackfruit. And when you go to the store, you can also find this kind of jackfruit, which is in syrup. But you don't want this, because this is ripe jackfruit. And that's more sweet, it's more desserty. We want something more savory. So let's get in this can and take a look at it. And the reason we're going to use this is because it has a very meaty texture. But it's a very neutral flavor. So you can use it in a lot of different dishes. And it won't be overly overpowering. So it's very versatile. So we're going to empty our jackfruit. The ones I like to buy say in water or in brine. And if it says brine, that just means it's salted water. But we're going to go ahead and rinse these off. And this is young green jackfruit, so it's very pale looking. Being canned, it's already cooked to a degree in the canning process, so it becomes very tender. So what I like to do is just crush it with my thumb.
Powerful man.
That's it. And you see, it just kind of tears apart. You just kind of squeeze it, and it breaks apart. And you know, these are kind of chewy, thick pieces, but that's okay because that's going to make it more meat-like. And then the outer part, you know, you can just tear that apart and it just shreds very easily. I like to use the core, so I like to take it, you know, each piece in hand and just give it a squeeze and tear it apart like that. And you know, if you can't do that, you could get a knife and cut it into smaller pieces. But the outer part will just shred very easily. And that way you'll be able to use everything in the can. Inside, when you squeeze it, you know, they've got these seeds. See, like this here is a rounded seed, you can see, but it's already cooked. This is very tender, and this is edible. So now we've got it all shredded up. So we got this shredded, and then I'm just going to leave this sit for a few minutes. While we get our other ingredients going over here, I'm going to turn my burner up on a kind of a medium high. Put me a little bit of coconut oil in there. Let that melt up. So I think our pan and oil are heated up enough. I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of onion in here. And I'm going to go ahead and let this saute up for just a couple of minutes and get a little bit of color on here. Since this is a breakfast hash, we're going to have a little bit of potato in here. And I've used a sweet potato as well, but I'm using a little bit of red potato in here this morning. And I'm going to cut it up into some smaller pieces because this is breakfast. So I don't want to be waiting around all morning. So I'm going to cut it up into smaller pieces so that it'll cook a little faster. And you can use any kind of potato you like. And I'm not going to use a lot of potato. You know, I want a good ratio between potato and jackfruit. And I'm just using 1 can of jackfruit. You know, and these are pretty good sized potatoes, so I actually got quite a little bit here. And you want to leave the skin on your potato because it'll help to hold the potato together. And plus you paid for that skin. That's your skin. Give our onions a stir over here.
Already smells delish.
Yeah, we should just have onions. Then breakfast would almost be ready. I'm going to go ahead and add a few more ingredients in here. I got a little bit of a green bell pepper chopped up here. Since this is a hash, I want a variety of ingredients. I'm going to use my red jalapeno and then a little bit of garlic.
Yay! Onion and garlic! Yeah!
Now we got all our peppers and garlic and onion in here. We'll give it 1 more minute together. So now it's been going for a few minutes all together, and I'm going to add in some spices here. You can put whatever kind of seasoning you like. I like to add a lot of seasoning, you know, so that the jackfruit and the potato have a lot of flavor. So I got some turmeric, some cumin, a little paprika, and some black pepper and salt. But definitely try other seasonings and, you know, put your favorites in there. Stir it around and get it all mixed in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw my jackfruit in here. And just look at the texture of that. It kind of looks like chicken. It almost looks a little bit like a shredded chicken breast. You know, except for these little seed parts right here. You know, but like I said, you can take the time and go through and smash those up completely if you want. I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat up a little bit now. I'm going to add the potatoes in here. Because mainly what we want to do now, you know, for this dish to be finished, is just cook the potato. You know, the jackfruit doesn't need to be cooked. You know, our onions and peppers and everything have already been sauteed up a little bit, but they're going to cook with the potatoes. Alrighty, I'm going to add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. And now this dish is pretty much complete. So as soon as these potatoes are done to the doneness that we like them done, it'll be finished. So I'm going to take about a can of water, throw in here, and get everything mixed up, covered up. I got my heat turned up a little bit. And I'm going to throw a lid on here and bring it up to a bubble. Now it's come up to a bubble, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce the heat down to a simmer. I'll go ahead and cover this up, let it simmer away until my potatoes are cooked through. And I don't know how long that's going to be. It's going to depend on the size of your taters. Tater size. Okay, so it's been probably about 10 minutes simmering away and my potatoes are starting to soften up. So now I'm going to continue to let it simmer for just a few minutes with the lid off, and I'll let this water cook off of here and dry out, and it'll be time for breakfast.
Yoo-hoo!
Alright, so it's been about 10 more minutes, and I think I've cooked up enough of the water off of there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off, and as you can see, grab a fork. See, the fork passes easily into the potato pieces, so it's all ready to eat. Oh no! Oh no! I forgot one last thing. I chopped up a little fresh parsley. Because this doesn't look very exciting. It looks kind of washed out from cooking like that. So we'll put a little fresh veggies in there. And this is optional, but it just makes it look a lot nicer. And you could use cilantro or any kind of herbs you like, any kind of fresh herbs, to give it a little bit of color and pizzazz. But that's it. Look how meaty that looks. You know, it has a great texture. You know, it makes a nice breakfast hash with these potatoes. But that's it. Now I'm just going to whip my eggs up real quick and then we're going to eat. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and plate a little bit of this hash up.
Smells delish.
What about some decorations here? I learned this in Las Vegas. And I'm going to put a couple of over easy eggs on here just kind of as a sauce. But you don't have to do that. You could use scrambled eggs. You don't have to use eggs at all. But you can see just a couple of red potatoes and one of those cans of jackfruit and a little bit of onion or whatever. It makes an awful lot. So we'll have leftovers. Alrighty, so there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and crack my yolk here. Give me a little yolky sauce on there. So good with this egg. Doesn't take long to cook at all. It just takes as long as the potatoes take. You know, so whatever kind of potatoes you use and how small you slice them up. Like I said, Camera Girl likes this with sweet potatoes. You know, if you want to print this recipe, I'll have a link down below, or if you just want to take a peek at it, it's written down there. But give it a go, let us know what you think. If you haven't tried jackfruit, you know, get you a can of young green jackfruit and give it a go. Thanks for subscribing and watching the video, and we'll see you in the future.